And at this exact time, 50 years ago today, the cameras were out there in Dallas. They were capturing the excitement of the president's visit, and those photographs are now a big part of history. Jeff is here in studio with us to take a look. Jeff, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I was just looking at some of those video clips, and it just goes to show the difference between video and photographs. With video, it just goes by so fast, but with photographs, you can actually take time to pause and reflect at the historic images that you're looking at. I mean, look at this. Jackie looked stunning that day. The weather was perfect. These two were elated to be in Dallas, basically at the start of his campaign for 1964. Now let's go through some of the images that many of you have become familiar with this terrible day that started off great. In this picture, you see President Kennedy greeting supporters during his visit to Fort Worth, Texas. The day started off with the president attending a breakfast held by the Chamber of Commerce. At this moment, the president is calling attention to his wife and that beautiful pink dress that he himself requested that she wear that day. In this picture, you see the two arriving at Love Field in Dallas. At 11:45 a.m., you see them in the limousine with Texas Governor John Connally. They're embarking on a 10-mile tour of Dallas. The president asked about the weather earlier in the day and opted to not have the top up on that limousine. Imagine the decision right there of having the top down. You see the crowds lining the street as the motorcade heads towards downtown Dallas. A group of White House staffers are in that car closest to the camera. In this picture, moments before the shots, you see Dallas police officer Bobby Hargis on his motorcycle. At that moment, he was thinking, okay, we're in the clear, we've got it made now, and then it happened. The first shot rings out, misses. The second shot, I believe that's the one that hit the president where he raised his arms. This is the other shot, the fatal shot, where you see Jackie leaning over to assist him. Of course, chaos breaks out on the ground. That is Secret Service Agent Clinton Hill running onto the back of the car to protect the president and Jackie. Photographers are running down the sidewalk there, and then Dr. Tom Shires describes the president's wounds to the press. And at this moment, Dan was talking about this, Walter Cronkite announcing the president's death but removing his glasses beforehand, just showing the raw emotion that he was able to convey to the millions of viewers at that time, just expressing the utter shock and sadness during one of the worst moments in our nation's history. Now, with Jackie's pink dress, a lot of you might be wondering what happened to that pink dress. She insisted on wearing it even after the events of that terrible day in Dallas, wanting to show the assassin what they did basically to the president. Well, that dress is now in the National Archives, and it is not going to be on display to the public until the year 2103, and even then it needs the family's approval to do so. It was basically donated to the National Archives on behalf of the family. The hat is nowhere to be found, but the dress is there. It's said that only a couple of people have actually seen it.
Well, one of the most disturbing images is of Jackie Kennedy getting on the trunk of the car. And as she was scrambling, her husband had just been shot. His head basically just blew up, and she was scrambling to try to grab pieces of it in hopes of putting it back together, just in a state of shock, no doubt.
Right, absolutely.
A state of hysteria, and just obviously a terrible moment that is forever in our minds, and pretty amazing that she insisted on keeping that dress on as Lyndon Johnson is sworn in there on Air Force One.